So, what's the level of frustration right now that you're playing some of your best football, and if you had just found a way to pull out a win, particularly the game with the Panthers where you're led with 2:43 left by 5, and you'd be in a position right now to still win the division, to see what the team is capable of? Is there a level of frustration about how well you're playing right now?
I would say I don't want to describe it as frustration. It's more of like, I mean, yeah, you're right, Jen. I don't know if you can talk around that. It's frustration. It's like if you had the ability to pull out, a win versus the Panthers. Don't make the critical mistakes we made versus the Jets. And there's always going to be those games you can flash back to think about those moments. And there's more that you can flash back to. 1-point loss to New England, overtime loss to Indy and Germany after playing well. If you could have found ways like we found ways in the last 2 weeks to win those games and really be able to do what you're capable of doing in all of them, you're sitting here in a completely different mode and completely different times, like when we're going to play in the playoffs, things of that nature, and it's not there. So it's at a very high level, but it's also a very high level of encouragement, knowing what the team can do and them getting a chance to show everybody else what they can do. It's like stuff that internally that you see every day that should have been happening, that could happen. It's a little frustrating that it happened at this time, at a later time.
I know I've given you a lot of flack over the past couple of years about not QB sneaking it, and yet you did it twice yesterday. What was the reason to do the QB sneak as opposed to a handoff or anything else?
Choosing the looks. Probably wish I could have had 2 more sneaks to end it. But it's a lot of times it's the looks, like that you get when you talk about the QB sneak, the ability to kind of, knock it on people and be able to get up there and knock that thing in there and hit a sneak. We had one in the end zone. Obviously got the one on the 1 yard, 1 inch line. It was in inches. We had another essentially sneak at the end of the game with the wedge play, which is like running sneak to Tyler, which I wish we could have got. But, and then the other one, we kind of messed up the operation on the other short yardage play that I wish we could have got to be in those games on our terms. But I was very pleased with us to be able to execute those things, score a touchdown, and actually get a big first down in that critical moment.
Was that designed, or was that something Kirk improvised on his own, just saw it and took advantage of it?
No, everything's designed. Can't say you spend hours of practice upon it. It's not like the tush pushes, but like it's something that we're on the sideline and, whether Zach, myself, or another coach on staff, just being able to look out the distance and where it's at and how far and the high probability of getting it based on the looks of the other teams and things that they do. Obviously we're not, the Eagles where you line up every single week and try to devise a different way to stop sneak. And so like when people are not ready for that, you can actually take advantage of some of those looks.
Mark Armani.
Hey, Raheem.
Mark, how you doing, man?
Good. Missed you. Didn't see you in Arizona. I was home.
I was just about to say, I didn't see you yesterday. Where were you?
I was right here in Atlanta.
Was that a Christmas thing, or you just spending with the family?
No, just an ESPN thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to get in the way of your business.
That's okay. That's okay. Nothing bad. I'm not in trouble or anything. Don't worry. I didn't tweet anything dumb. Not this time. Anyway, wanted to ask you about Kyle Pitts. Really over the last few weeks I think might be the best tight end in the NFL over the last few weeks. Anything that he's doing differently that you've seen in practice that maybe you saw this coming before it happened?
It's hard to say different in practice. Like Mark, Zeno, you guys are all here for like OTA days, and you got a chance to see training camp, and this is what he looked like, throughout the whole course. And like I was scared to talk about him in the offseason, because you're like, let's just let him get out there and do it on his own. Let guys see it for themselves. But, within the course of the season, he's shown moments like he did yesterday and even the week before. But to put the consistent games back to back like this, I think is something that's really nice for us all to see. Yesterday, particularly on a conversion down, whether you're talking about third or fourth, he was special. Being able to go get the ball, making some critical catches, catching the contestant, beating man-to-man coverage, winning some pretty tough looks, getting the ball in his hands, being able to do some of those things was special. Everything wasn't perfect, but certainly at a very higher level than what we've seen in some other times, in some other years, or whatever the case may be. But throughout the course of training camp, throughout the course of OTA days, not really OTA days because he kind of was out of there, but throughout the course of training camp, and then throughout the course of what we've been doing in practice, he's looked like that at times. And you're always looking for more from Kyle, like we kind of talk about a lot, and he's given us more, and it's been nice.
Thank you.
No problem, Mark.
You Led. Anybody else?
Led don't even have his hand up. What kind of guy is Led that you got a question? You on mute, Led.
Yeah, I don't have to have my hand up. I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I like it. Much respect, Led. I'm just gonna give you one of these, Led.
No, I'm just no, I just pulled up to the house. I just pulled up. My Uber just pulled up, so I was able to jump on. And I'm playing catch up here, so hopefully I don't cover any ground that you already talked about.
It don't matter, Led. It don't matter, Led. You're in the Hall of Fame. You can ask what you want to ask. Stick with that. Stick with that theme. I'm going with it.
The secondary. I mean, CJ stepped up for you at the end, but you banged up there, and just looking. You know, how are you hoping to get any guys back, or you gonna have to go with these guys still trying to step up against the most potent passing attack in the league coming in here?
So D has been playing well. I guess the last 4 weeks. I guess has been. I'm not real sure, but he's been pretty consistent throughout the year, taking over for Billy when Billy had the season-ending injury. So he's been out there, and that's kind of normal. That is what it is, right? That's D playing well, D doing some really good things. And at the corner position, Mike Hughes just went down last week, and we'll see where he is this week and what he's going to be able to do. But I really like the competes of Kobe Bryant going out there last week playing against a real Hall of Famer on the football field, not just in the journalism world. And then I watched him play against Mike Evans, and then having a chance to get CJ out there yesterday to go make some big time plays for a huge play at the end, and what he's been able to show throughout the course of this season, on the practice field, whether he's been on practice or he's been on the roster, has been a lot of fun. So those guys, man, I got a lot of faith and a lot of confidence in them. Everything's not always going to be right. I think that's part of football. But I think those guys going out, giving us everything they got is a huge part of us evaluating them and them solidifying their spots on our football team to be able to contribute in their roles.
And against McBride, was it a bracket or y'all disguised coverages? I'm sure it was a combination of things to keep him to 4 catches for 27.
Yeah, there's no one way to stop a guy that's that talented. The nicest way to say mind your business, Led, is we did a number of different things to go cover him. Whether it was double teams, whether it was coverage, zone coverage, eyes, awareness, and at the time some big time plays like Jesse made at the end. Sometimes the player just made a play. Jesse made a play at the end and big time play on his choice route. Was able to get in and get a knockdown pass. Came up later, being able to help Caden on a pass to the end zone on a double move S type play, and to watch him come up, cover that kind of grass and make that play. Some of it was just awareness by the players, and some of it was awareness by the coaches, and some of it was scheme. And I thought the scheme was really well played for his skill set yesterday. It worked out well for us.
Thank you,
Taryn.
Hello.
Hi, Taryn.
I know we talked about Bijan Robinson during the.
Taryn, are you home?
Yes. This is not my home. This is a virtual background.
I was about to say, get your butt to work.
I wish my little studio apartment looked like this. But when it comes to just the season overall, Bijan he's nearing the all-time scrimmage yard record. Just how can you coach a player like that? How can you manage a player like that? Like, just with all the amazing things he's been doing this season.
It's pretty easy for me. He's one of the easiest people to be around. He's one of the best people we know, for both on the field and off the field. His character, screams excellence. He is, if you define the Falcon, he's exactly what you want everybody to be. All of those things. And I don't even know how close he is to the record. That's not something he talks to me about. That's not something we really talk about. He just talks about finding ways to help his team get wins. And, obviously B is special, and he's special to all of us in multiple different ways, including on and off the field, and some of us even in our personal life. So I just think he's an amazing human being to be around.
Can you think of anyone you've coached who even comes close to him?
Oh, man. From an all around, his teammate, Caden Ellis, was pretty close to the guy and the human that he is. And they're locked in sync. But, there's been a bunch of different guys that you coach just throughout your career. And, the year he's having is kind of like the Cooper Cup-esque year he had when he was a Triple Crown winner. Been around Julio Jones when he was, playing at that elite of a level, that he was the ultimate teammate, the ultimate guy, the ultimate person for his team. And went out and did it every single week on a consistent basis. And those guys, immediately jump to my head just off of recent memory of offensive players being able to do things like that and being that special. Aaron Donald was, pretty special every single week. From a defense standpoint, somebody that you knew would go out there and be as productive as he was going to be, and also be a team leader and be focused on what it feels like to be whatever particular team you're talking about those players worked on. And so, I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of special players and some special people, even going way back to when I first got into the league with Derrick Brooks, when he won Defensive Player of the Year, and he was around that stuff and scoring touchdowns and being able to play certain different things and be the human that those guys are off the field. So those are the closest guys I can say to Bijan. And I'd hate to compare, them with each other because they're just all great people in their own rights. But to only be to answer your question, Taryn, I got to mention some people.
Thank you.
Parker Mondi.
Mark had an early question, guys. He shouldn't get two questions before
I'm back. I might have missed this at the top because I was a little bit late, but did anyone ask you about Drake? It seemed like he was he played obviously, but it seemed like he was still kind of banged up and limping around a little bit.
No, he limped off the field, got stepped on in a one completely different incident. Right. Got his feet stepped on. To say banged up, no. To say knocking some of the rust off, yes. Happy that he's doing it. Happy that he's out there with his team. And we all know the type of player that Drake is and what he is on an everyday basis. He was not his normal self, but whatever you get from Drake, man, is always a benefit. It's always a blessing.
So he's not. He's going to be back to practice this week and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a little early. I haven't had my medical report, but I'm assuming yes. I mean, he finished the game. He did everything else. He just got stepped on a couple of times. He got used to getting banged up again, jumping into pals, scrapping with people, Drake type stuff.
Got it. Thank you.
Allison.
Hey, Raheem.
Hi, Allison.
So I know it's never about you at all, but what does it mean to you to see your players when obviously there's no playoffs, right? There's not as much motivation, that they're still playing hard no matter what? And especially when there could be some uncertainty towards the end of, and a lot of evaluation at the end of the year.
I don't know, Allison, because I never look at it that way. It's always about the guys and really pouring into every single player that we have and coach that we have, and everybody's trying to be as helpful as you possibly can in order to get the most out of everybody. So I'd be lying to you if I didn't think these guys that we have and the character that we have from the team and how we built it, that I didn't think they would play hard. It's kind of like talking about Kirk Cousins, right? It was like, how do you think he's going to play when he gets back in? He's going to play as best he can. He's going to do everything he can to win football games, do whatever he can for his football team. And it's like, those are just some of the examples that you have, just the way the team is built, the culture of the team, the ethos of the team, just how it was built. I really wouldn't expect anything else to happen other than guys to come back and finish and be able to do everything they can to try to win football games.
Joe?
Yeah, Raheem, I apologize because I don't know if you addressed this after the game, but what were your thoughts when you saw Jake Matthews drop that touchdown pass? And has he gotten a proper ribbing from you or the coaching staff yet?
No. Jake is entirely too angry to mess with him about that play. He was down that he didn't catch it. I could see the anger shark swimming around his head as he came off the football field. So definitely not picking on Jake about that. I'll let you do that, Joe. And you can suffer the consequences of Jake Matthews this week.
Mark?
Mark Raimondi again? No way.
Zeno.
Oh, Zeno. Okay.
Yeah, slacking. I know you said a couple of weeks ago that you guys would address the quarterback position differently this offseason. Given Kirk's high level of play, have any conversations started to be had, or are they waiting all for the end of the season? Are you guys having conversations about possibly his future staying here and things of that nature?
No, we'll always handle those conversations together at the end of the season and what it looks like. Obviously really excited about the news about our quarterback being to come back off injury and Michael Penix and where he's going to be and, really, putting together a timeline for him, what things will look like. But, no matter whatever the case is, there has to be a person in place that can go out there and do what Kurt's done for us right now and just go out there and win football games, put us in possessed positions, find ways to lead. And I can't say enough positive things about what Kurt's been able to do for us. And I know those conversations will do nothing but gain momentum and be more positive by the way we're playing.
Aaron?
Another one for me. We
Sure,
talked about Jake Matthews being the Iron Man on the offense and just in general. But when you look at Chris Lindstrom, what kind of season is he having, considering the new faces along the offensive line and just also injuries across it? But he's been a staple there too.
he's dealt with his own stuff, like his display of toughness just for our team, and kind of what Allison was talking about. Like I wasn't shocked that he did it, but just some of the toughness he displayed. There was weeks that he couldn't quite practice full and do all the things that he's capable of doing during the practice week. And he did everything for his football team to go out there and play and finish these games and play these games, and he continues to do it. So like that the mentality, the tough guy, the attitude, the swagger, the everything that you talk about from being an offensive lineman and a leader and a captain for our football team, he's exemplified that at a very high level. So like Chris Lindstrom playing at a Pro Bowl level, obviously he's been a Pro Bowler the last couple of years. So like I expect really nothing different. It's really similar question to Allison's about the whole team when you're just talking about Chris.
What kind of swagger does Chris Lindstrom have? You'd
be shocked, man. Pre-game, he is one of the guys that you look at and lean on. It's a little more just, effort, face. Sometimes I look in his face and I'm about to run the other way because he has some real intent, man, about what he's about to go do.
Thank you.
Mark, yeah, another one.
Yeah, off mute this time. You guys have already had an impact in the NFC South playoff race with beating Tampa Bay. You can have an impact in the entire NFC playoff picture this week. I mean, do you use the word spoiler? Do you talk to them about that? And does beating the Rams mean anything particular for you, being that you used to be a coach there?
Not really spoiler. I just think it's just going out there, putting ourselves in position and really putting yourself in the mindset that you want to be playing in these games, right? Like, like I give Allison my left arm right now to go play against, the Saints for the division after we get a chance to knock off the Rams or whatever the case may be. Those are just the mindset you want to put yourself in. And like, you don't put yourself in those spots when you get there. Like you gotta generate that type of stuff for yourself. Right. So right now we're playing the Rams for the 1 seed or the 5th seed. And the mindset will be that way. And these guys will come out playing with the same mindset. And if you don't match that intensity or you're not able to be in that certain mindset, you won't have any chance. And we got to go out with that type of mindset. And it's nothing extra for me coaching there. I got some great fond memories from the Rams, and we have fond memories of each other. We just won't like each other this week, and we'll go play the game that we need to play.
That's one. D-Led?
Yeah, Coach D.
Oh, now you want to raise your hand, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in line. I'm trying to, follow the rules and everything. So, but have you, I know you have time to reflect on that, but just from afar, watching how Les and Sean built that thing, Wade came in there, then you came in. Have you marveled at how they've been able to build it up and get it going, and then keep it going with a lot of big time moves and so forth?
Yeah, they came in, and I marveled, like I told you guys a long time ago, the relationship between Sean and Les. Obviously, you get in there and getting that thing really rolling. Sean getting that thing rolling on offense. Obviously they had Wade at the beginning as a staple of really good defense in this football and National Football League. Had some success there early for Sean. I was able to join on there after Brandon Staley had some more success on offense, defense, being able to go in deep playoff runs, things of that nature. Being able to go there and win a championship. Myself with those guys was absolutely extra special because I get a chance to see the inner workings of all the people that are involved, the we not me mentality, the people that are all hands on deck, everything being about football first and foremost when you're talking about that place and what it means to everything, and how the support system just everybody is in and know what winning is like. They've felt it. They've been a part of it. And the competitive modes that I was trying to explain to Zeno about the mindset you better be in when you go play this football team. So like that'd be a big part of what we stress this week. That'd be a big part of what we stress moving forward. And that's a big part of showing us examples of what it looks like, right? So like they're a clear-cut example of what it looks like. They've won at a very high level. They've won it all. They fell off and they've found a way to build it back through the draft, through free agency, through whatever any means necessary, scheme, staying ahead of the curve, finding people that are of high capacity to keep everything going in the right path. And I think that's the biggest part of building anything that you do when it comes to football team. And we are, without a doubt, mimicking and mocking that. And some of the times you gotta block out some of the things that everybody else thinks that you need to do, and you need to do things what's right.
And just to follow up, what was it like for your unit going against Stafford in practice on a daily basis, and his competitive nature?
Weapon X is a problem. He's a problem every single day. He can hit every spot in the football field. He's fun to compete against because you're left in awe a lot. He's a great human. He's a great man. He's a great leader. He's a great competitor. He's got people around him that are all built from the same cloth, whether you're talking about Puka, now Devontae, obviously Kyron Williams and all of those guys in that up front line on how they've been built and, obviously the coaching staff. But, he is a problem. He's probably the MVP.